Did you also have experiences with death in the family regarding cancer?
Yes. Well, just to give a little background, if we have a moment, I met Steve almost 2 years ago at the New York Filmmakers Meetup Group that he organizes. And we became friends and we worked on some projects together. And in talking, we both had a common thread. We both lost family members. I lost a wife to cancer almost 6 years ago, and Steve lost his parents. And we both had, besides the loss, there was so much going on that we weren't happy about, with treatment, with the whole care, a lot of issues with cancer for sure. And we decided, we weren't sure where we were going with it, but we wanted to do a documentary on cancer that would help people that had to deal with it like we did. And that's where Cancer Warriors, actually, if I'm not mistaken, Fred was our first Cancer Warrior interview. I think he was, right? And so then one thing led to another, and it's developed in several different directions, but basically we think that there's a message that we want to, and it turns out that we had negative experiences, but the video you saw today is very positive.
Yeah.
These are 3 people who battled and successfully, and Fred, whatever his situation, he's still here, despite all odds, and he's functional, and he's a great man in so many ways. To see how much he's accomplished, even after the diagnosis and all the horrible treatment he's gone through, I think is very uplifting to anyone that has to deal with this, that, don't despair, life is not over with the diagnosis.
Exactly, and what I usually want to correlate all of this is, remember, as New Yorkers, we're all survivors. Every day we have to survive New York, just being out there in the street, just surviving your jobs, your relationships. If you make it in New York, you make it
Anyway.
But yeah, so the keyword is survivor, and you guys are survivors. And we have a few more minutes, I guess, for Q&A, because we want to hear your feedback and maybe ask them questions. Couple of questions here. Yeah, Ms. Potri?
I just want to comment on this because 2 hours ago, a friend of mine texted and said, my boss, they're also lawyers, my boss just came from the doctor and he has grade 1 first stage kidney cancer. So I said, OMG, please tell her to come with me to see Cancer Warriors.
Yeah.
And she said, what for? She said, this is my first prescription. See the film. So I think this is the first response to your call that this film is a healing film.
It is healing, and we're looking forward to, besides your film festival circuit run, we're hoping for the DVD soon, so we can have it in our, and give it to people.
Oh, thank you. Just wanted to say, and don't want to be a bummer, but Miss Knockout and the other 2 people, they survived. And so, Cancer Warriors, we have more interviews. One of them, a very extensive interview with Mike Swartz, where his wife did not survive. And of course, we have Fred Hope, who is dying. I'm almost leery of creating another video or movie project, which is all about think positive, everybody's going to survive. Don't want to do that. I want it to be, no matter what stage cancer Potri's friend is, or anybody else, that this video can help them, regardless of their situation. If we're going to say there's hope, there's a cure, whatever, I'm like, wait a minute, let's see what type of cancer, what kind of survival rate, and what are your personal circumstances. But that's something that can help everyone, whether this is your end game or whether this is a challenge and you're going to have, but this is, maybe it's not your end game. That's a very hard thing to know. That's a very difficult, ambiguous situation where it's sort of like, you got cancer, you don't know if this is your final chapter or whether you have a few more chapters left. And that is just a difficult thing, you know. And so I'm not completely convinced about the Think Positive. I know it sells movies. I know that you can get more moments at Cancer Centers of America with all their happy commercials. But I want to represent more of a truth than that. But I have to say one other thing. I've studied this a lot, and I gotta say, there is reason to think positive about cancer overall, because at breast cancer we're at almost 90% survival rate, and colon cancer we're about 80% survival rate. My mom died of colon cancer. In the years that my mom died of colon cancer, survival rate was something like 40%. Now it's 80%. Overall, cancer mortality goes down like about 1.5% a year for many years. So it's great. A lot of great things going on. But on the other hand, that also means there are a lot more cancer survivors out there, a lot of people who are alive and dealing with this situation, which means that a movie or a video project is that much more vital and important, you know.
It's looking like it's going to be a series of, right? Is it a question?
Oh, Ben Chan. Hey, Ben Chan. I just want